Hello, Adikani. Thank you for joining me, Rosemary Nyabatsa, on the Children's Chimurenga. Today I've been guided to talk about the different avatars of Jesus, the different ways that Jesus, throughout his 33-year life story, has been remembered and commemorated at different phases of his life. And I have been guided to ask us to consider which forms, which avatars, which pictures of Jesus we are most interacting with, most connected to, and which ones do we access on our day-to-day level of living for inspiration and for guidance as to who we are and how to live our lives. And this is not a religious way of accessing or coming into relationship with Jesus. It's got nothing to do with churches and structures and rules and dogma and guilt and shame and hierarchy and robes and ritual and magic that other people have co-opted in the name of Jesus in order to control us. It has got nothing to do with that. What this has to do with is energy and the energy of Jesus and the recognition that everything in the universe is energy. Everything is energy. We might think that this is solid. It's not. 99% of an atom is space, which means 99% of me right now that you can see in front of you, of this computer that you are seeing me through, is space. It's empty. Empty. I'm not even here. So what we have is a universe that is an interaction of energies. So for me to be sitting here in this solid seeming form is the energies of my subatomic particles interacting with each other in a wave-like form. They are not even solid themselves. They appear and then they disappear. And it is the interaction of them together that gives the appearance of reality. And in the same way, it is our interaction with one another, our interaction with our culture, society, everything that we consider to be real is just an energy interacting with us, and we perceive it. We give it meaning. It has no meaning. Nothing has meaning. We are the ones who give it meaning. And that meaning that we give is then what dictates how we interact with the world and what we perceive, and what we expect from, and what we think reality is. And so regarding Jesus and the different pictures of him that we have throughout his life stories, which are different energies themselves at different stages, we can begin to consider why structures, the church, hierarchical systems of control have chosen to co-opt and focus on certain energies of Jesus' life story and to really amplify those in order to impress them upon us, for us to think that these are the most important aspects of Jesus and the aspects of Jesus that we are meant to be emulating, when every single minute of Jesus' life carries as much weight as any other minute of Jesus' life. So You must be wondering what my point is. And I do have a point, but the preamble is necessary in order for us to recognize that because everything is energy and because everything is the same and everything is based on our perception and interaction with it, we have to be willing to go into a place of freedom of mind, freedom of thought, freedom of heart, where we know from the love in our own hearts as the example for us, that then gives us the basis for which to interact with the world. But because these impressions have been put on us, I am a sinner, I am bad, I am less than nothing, I am dead without being saved. All of these impressions put upon us obscure us from the truth of the light that is within us. And then we become attached to these stories of guilt and shame, and needing to be saved and needing to be rescued and being bad. And we then actually perpetuate it because we give up on ourselves and we think, well, I am a sinner. Anyway, I'll go to confession, I'll confess, and I'll sin again and I'll go to confess, and at least I have Jesus to save me. We don't need that. We are not bad. Jesus doesn't think we're bad. We're not bad ourselves. It is just a cycle of energies that we have attached to, that have been impressed upon us, that I am bad, and we eat it, we ingest it, and then what do? We excrete the same. We excrete badness because we believe that's what we are, and then we see it out there and we're shocked by what we have created. We feel guilty, we feel ashamed. Oh my gosh, look what I did. I am so bad. And the cycle continues. But if we are able to look within us, we just see the pure light of God that we are naturally. And then you can let go of all the stuff that has been used to keep us in spiritual slavery. Okay, so now I'm really getting to the point. So my point is that there are different avatars of Jesus. Jesus had different phases of his life. When he was born, we've just had Christmas. When he was born, we receive him as this beautiful, innocent baby Jesus, the light of the world. And that is who we are. Because we are all the avatars of Jesus. Everything is just energy. There is no separation. There is no Jesus out there. And we are Jesus. We are everything. Even everything. Even Satan. Even the demons. Even the angels. Even the plants. Everything we are. And if we can embrace our everythingness without duality, without pushing something away, oh no, I don't like that. That's evil. Oh yes, I embrace this. This is beautiful. If we see it all as the same and accept it all as the same, then we are not pushed and pulled by the whirlings of the energies around us. We are no longer frightened or intimidated by things, because we're just in the place of a silent observer and a silent witness, and that is the aligned soul energy. So we receive Jesus as this sacred, innocent, pure baby. And Jesus himself at another stage said that you can only enter the kingdom of God if you are like a child. And that is how he came to us, as a child. And so this avatar of Jesus is actually the depiction of our true state. That is who we are. And then there are other avatars of Jesus. There's the avatar of Jesus when he, was angry, righteously angry, and he pushed the tables of the people in the temple who were making money, greedy, in a wrong-minded way. There's nothing wrong with money, but if money is coming at the expense of other lives and at the expense of other energy, it's going to do nothing for you, nothing at all. And so Jesus, in that righteously angered state, which is a divine feminine state, the divine feminine right of the mother when she sees her children being hurt, to come down and come down hard, like a bear, a mother animal. That was what Jesus was expressing in that moment. Yeah. So there's none of this mind-based anger of of self-cherishing, that I'm hurt because, and I'm angry because somebody has hurt me. Or no, it is a universal righteous anger of protection of the vulnerable. So that's another aspect of Jesus. And yet we are told, oh no, turn the other cheek. Don't fight back. Don't express your divine power. Why? Who said that? Why do they teach us this? That blessed are the meek, and blessed are those who are quiet and just turn the other cheek and keep their heads down. Because you're easy to control when you're quiet and you turn the other cheek and you keep your head down. But there is a righteous anger that we are all entitled to, a fire of fury that can fuel our ascension to our highest possibilities. And it does not have to be violent. It is born of compassion and born of a protective sense for all those that are vulnerable, and be that animals, plants, children, other humans, yourself. But you know it when it's righteous. You know it when it's not coming from a place of self-cherishing. And that's what Jesus did in that avatar. There's also Jesus, the party goer at the wedding in Cana, which may have even been, can you consider it, his own wedding? Can you consider that Jesus may have been married and had, maybe not even married? Who needs even to say marriage as some kind of institution? Can we not consider that Jesus had a loving relationship and partnership with his own equal divine feminine partner in Mary Magdalene? Can we consider these mystical secrets that hold the keys to our own freedom and to our understanding of the divine balance between masculine and feminine, both within one's own body and being, and then externally as the polarity of masculine and feminine, yin and yang, black and white, everything coming together and dancing, because this is what life is. Life is magnetism. There is no denying the polarity that binds, that keeps the energies. That's how the energies interact with each other in this universe that is so much space. It is through magnetism. And magnetism is a force of opposites attracting, not in duality, not clashing together and destroying each other as we see good and evil, but interacting with each other, approximating to one another, and dancing with one another, finding finding a flow between them. So can we consider that Jesus flowed with another being of equal and opposite polarity, of equal and opposite power and knowing in a divine feminine form? So yes, Jesus the party goer at the wedding in Cana, Jesus the fun guy, Jesus the fun guy, Jesus the reveler. And then we have the Jesus that we are most, who is brought to our attention most keenly by the religious institutions. And this is Jesus the sufferer, Jesus the martyr, Jesus on the cross. Now, don't you think it's funny that throughout all 33 years of Jesus' existence, and we celebrate the whole 33 years throughout the church calendar, but not even 3 days, 1 day of his life is emphasized more than the rest, and that is the day of his suffering, the day that he was on the cross. And we have emphasized it so much that the symbolism that the whole church is structured around is the symbolism of the cross. And we have the crosses everywhere, reminding us of this suffering and reminding us that we are the cause of this suffering, that without our sin and without our darkness, this suffering would have never happened. And so we again are reminded or impressed upon about our guilt and our shame constantly. I mean, if we were to do things proportionately, if we were to consider every minute of Jesus' life to be of equal value and importance, then we should say one day of his life out of 33, right? So 33 years. So 33 years times 365 would give us the number of days that Jesus lived. And then we'd be able to get the fraction, right? 1 divided that number of days. And then we'd be able to say times 365, which is the number of days in our church calendar. And that would give us the proportion of our church calendar that we should be focused on Jesus on the cross. But it is heavily skewed right now. And the reason it is heavily skewed is because someone saw it as beneficial to them to keep us locked in the cycles of shame and guilt and regret and self-loathing that we feel every time we see Jesus on the cross, because we think that we put him there. And we are completely pulled down by this reminder at every instance of our base nature. Instead of saying, yes, I have that base nature. I do. And I see it. But I see it not as something to hate and to be ashamed of in myself, but I see it as fuel, I see it as manure, I see it as the base metal, the substance from which I can create myself. If I can now achieve the other attributes of Jesus and to purify myself enough and to have that willingness to find God within myself without always pulling myself back and saying, oh no, you're not worthy. Oh no, you're not God. Oh no, you don't deserve to know yourself in that way. We need to free ourselves from what we have been told we are, and to understand that we are so much more than that. We need to ask ourselves, why are these structures, why have these things been formed in the way they have? To what purpose? We need to find our own spiritual freedom. We need to find where we want to interact with and connect with the energies that swirl around us. Why not have, yes, we can have the cross one day a month in church. Why not have a nativity scene instead of just 2 weeks a year? One day a month as well. Have different symbols of Jesus to remind us of different aspects of Jesus within us at different points. But this one, something fishy. Something fishy. So yes, that's what I've been asked to share, is to offer us a small breath of open-mindedness for our own benefit, and to release us from nailing Jesus on the cross day in, day out. Believe he's sick of it. His mother is sick of it. She's just like, why are you guys perpetuating? Because all energy is infinite as well. So actually, by performing these rites in which we are constantly bringing it back, we are nailing Jesus to the cross every single time. No wonder we feel so guilty. And certainly his mother has had enough. She is saying, there's so much more to my child. There is so much more to his story. There is so much more. What about the resurrection story? Why, instead of having the cross there as a symbol, why don't we have an open cave with the boulder pushed open and an empty cave? Why is that not the symbol of Christianity? The resurrection, the freedom, the emancipation. That's too dangerous, isn't it? That's too dangerous. Too dangerous for energies that might want to keep you entrapped. And before we get too dualistic about those energies that want to keep us entrapped, we can also be thankful to them, because through the heaviness of that, them keeping us entrapped, through that we find our freedom. Because sometimes if there is nothing pushing down on you, there is nothing to push out of. It's like a fish in water. If you say to a fish, you're in water, a fish will say, well, what water? It's like us, breathing air, and maybe the other foundational aspects of the universe that we're not aware of because they are so normal to us. So without that boundary, without that resistance of these structures, of this enslavement, we would not be able to break through to really understand who we are. So we thank the church. We thank those structures. We thank those energies that have tried to keep us suppressed, because through them we find our freedom. And everything is okay. Everything has its place. Everything is welcome in the universe. And just because everything is welcome and has its place does not mean that we then stay stagnated and we don't learn and we don't do. We're here to grow. We're here to grow. We're here to grow and to explore and to know and to understand ourselves, and to love and to love and to love and to love. So thank you for joining me, and I hope this speaks and resonates with each and every one of our hearts for our collective freedom and for the blossoming in frequency and the opening to the light that is so prevalent and is happening right now, and is a very I send you a lot of love. I send you a lot of love.